Right now, inside of you, there are tens of thousands of tiny machines that are folding themselves into knots. Each one, in fractions of a second, twists itself into a specific shape. And if it folds the wrong way, you get Alzheimer's. For 50 years, we could read the instructions for these machines and understand what they do, but we could never predict the shape they would fold into until someone built an AI that plays games. Little did everyone know it was the solution to this problem. Those tiny machines are actually proteins. Every single one of them starts as the same thing, a chain. It's a chain of beads, and each bead is one of 20 tiny building blocks, each one called an amino acid. This is the easy part. The problem is what happens next. The second the chain forms, it folds. In just a few thousandths of a second, it collapses into a very specific tangled 3D knot. That knot is the machine, the part that does the work. And knowing its shape is what lets you understand what it does, how disease affects it, and how to design drugs that target it. So the goal was simple. Build something that could read that string of amino acids and predict the 3D knot it would fold into, and skip the years of lab work it normally takes to find these shapes. So, how hard could that be? Turns out it's almost impossibly hard. Picture that chain for a second. It's floppy and it can bend at every single joint. So the number of shapes a single protein could fold into is around 10 to the power of 300, which is more than the number of atoms in the whole universe. If you built a computer to try them one by one, it would still be running long after our sun burnt out. And yet, the chain itself folds into the correct shape faster than you can blink. We just couldn't figure out the rules it was following. So, the world's best biologists turned it into a competition. Every 2 years, a contest called CASP takes place, where the world's best biologists meet up and try to predict shapes from a given string of amino acids. It ran for 25 years, and for 25 years, the guesses stayed bad. Then one year, a company called DeepMind showed up. They didn't have a background in biology. They came from games. They just built an AI that beat the world champion at Go. DeepMind looked at the problem differently. When a protein folds, every amino acid influences every other one. It acts less like a string and more like a web of interactions. Two amino acids far apart on the chain can end up pressed right against each other once it folds. So, instead of predicting where each amino acid goes one by one, their AI tried to predict the whole web at once. Every amino acid asking every other one how closely they end up related. It learned those relationships from the 150,000 protein shapes biologists had already solved painstakingly over 60 years. It treats folding less like a biology problem and more like a language problem, where the shape is the meaning hidden in the sentence of amino acids. Which brings us back to that 2020 contest. The scores in CASP are measured out of 100. Anything above 90 is considered as good as an experiment in a lab, which is the gold standard, but one that normally takes months or years. AlphaFold's median score was 92.4 without the months of work. The man who organized this contest and ran it for 25 years said that the problem in some sense is solved. Then DeepMind changed the whole world. Over the next 2 years, they ran AlphaFold on nearly every protein known to science, over 200 million of them, and released the entire database for free online. 60 years of work by tens of thousands of scientists, then 200 million structures in just about a year. So what happens when you map almost every protein known to science and just give it away for free? Instead of a researcher spending 3 years in a lab trying to figure out the shape of a single protein, they can look it up in seconds. It removes one of the biggest bottlenecks in modern science. Today, researchers are already using AlphaFold's database to engineer enzymes that break down plastic waste, develop better vaccines, and design drugs that target the exact misfolded proteins behind diseases like Alzheimer's. For half a century, protein folding was an almost impossible physics problem. It took an AI built by game developers who decided to treat it like a language to finally crack it. The 50-year puzzle is now solved, which means the real work now is using those answers to solve real-world problems. And it's only just getting started. Thank you for watching.